What's the status of Jack for tomorrow, you think, and Alex as well? Is he
No, Alex won't. He won't be available. And Jack is here this morning getting treatment, so he'll be a game time decision. Yeah, it's a tough one for him. I don't think he's even, I just found I'm not sure he's even played here in a few years. He's having such a good year. He was really looking forward to it. So hopefully he heals quickly. But again, we'll see it. Probably not till game time.
Scored a couple for you in the bubble. Does it make you think of Corrali and Chari that year?
Yeah, that's funny. Sean got better with that thing on somehow. But Jack, I was talking about, he had to wear it at BU. I think it's the same thing he wore when he was younger. So he's got some experience with it. Doesn't seem to bother him.
How tough have breakouts How tough have breakouts been? Without Alex, obviously that's such an area of expertise.
Pittsburgh, it was difficult. They did a really good job, and they do that to everybody. They're quick on pucks. They get underneath you. They're real good below the goal line. So we had our issues that game. We addressed it. Time to practice it a little bit because we've been okay with it, And obviously, Petro's him and Theo are our two best at it. So you got to simplify a little more, be better on the walls just to rim out. We did more of that last night and kept ourselves out of trouble, I guess. Didn't always break out clean, but at least the puck was farther away from our net if we didn't get it out, and we sorted out.
Bruce, what's the first thing that went through your mind when you walked in here today?
Good memories. I walked out to the other bench, the home bench, just to see what it was like. I've been in that spot a lot, so I used to always look at the banners up top, wanted to hang one. That didn't happen, but still great memories. Good to see Grizz's dad. People walk around. Tomorrow will be better than McCorkle's, I'm sure, will be here. And things like that. There's good memories of people you meet behind the scenes. Ran into Billy Jaffe for a while, talked hockey, youth hockey, and so yeah, just stuff that happened in the past. And like I said, I always had great memories from here.
What did you, I know there's so many lessons probably, but was there one thing that stood out to you that you took from your time here? As a coach or as a person?
I just think, the appreciation of being around solid professionals like Zdeno Chara, Bergie, obviously. Watch the growth of Marshy and Pasta, the growth of Tuca, and then, I'd go down the list. So just a lot of, the culture that was created. And I've said this before, I think Claude laid a terrific foundation. We built off that, and Monty's continue to do the same, and so I think that's what I took from it. The strong organizations or teams that are there every year, I think they have a foundation and culture. So that was really important, I think. And when I was younger, I don't maybe appreciate that much. You're thinking, this is how we're going to play. These are going to be my matchups. Where it's a little deeper than that.
New set of guys, obviously, a new set of assistant coaches. I was just wondering if this summer, as the game of hockey evolves every year, did you change anything in your coaching style, coaching philosophy? You're in the Western Conference. Anything different about how you approached this?
Well, I think every year you change a little bit. For me, you're always, in my situation, you're reflecting, and some things change. I still believe in a culture of team first and accountability to one another. What are you going to change? Dealing with players, how do they handle the messaging? We didn't change a lot of how we play. We want to be a solid defensive team, and we were at the start. It slipped a little bit. We want to keep building that into the game. I think offense was never a problem here in Vegas. I think that started 6 years. They did a great job with their rush attack from, Gerard and Pete DeBoer did a really good job with that. We've gotten our D involved. I think we've had good success with our offense coming from our D because we have those guys that are natural at it. When Theodore and Petrangelo like to get up, White Cloud. So that part of our game is noticeable. But yeah, that's it. And as for the West versus the East, I noticed our record against the Atlantic Division is very good, and I seem to know those teams a lot better and can really help the pre-scout instantly. This is how we did well against them. This is where they exposed us in the past. And we got another Atlantic Division 1 tomorrow, so I should know about.
I was just going to ask if it's fun coaching against a team that the strengths and weaknesses.
Well, coaching and fun are rarely in the same sentence.
Right.
It's rewarding. It can be enjoyable, but yeah, I know the Bruins. They've obviously changed some things. They're playing great hockey. It'd be a big challenge for us, but yeah, hopefully there's some things that individual players we can help with. we'll see tomorrow.
What kind of a test will this be for your team?
You know, it'll be one of the best, I assume. You got a team that hasn't lost at home. They're firing on all cylinders in every category. And sometimes that's good for your team to play that team now. You know, being out a couple of guys will make it more difficult, but then sometimes your game simplifies when you're missing key players. So, you know, and I think our team has responded to good teams. I think we're a bit of that team that can elevate our game. Sometimes, unfortunately, we can go the other way and against opponents that we should be doing better against. So I'm looking forward to it, see where we're at, and then whatever happens, you know, we'll go back to work Wednesday.
Are you naming a starter in net for tomorrow?
We haven't done that here, so I'll let you know tomorrow. But it'll be one of two guys.
Well, those two guys have been giving you some pretty good performances.
They have.
Based on, you know, last summer, maybe it was a little bit of an unknown at the very least, if not a concern. Was there a point where you kind of said, you know, we'll be okay here? What brought you to that?
It was all new to me. So losing Robin, we knew had shoulder surgery. We weren't aware in June that his hips would need to be repaired. So that was a surprise in that sense. And then we knew with LB he wouldn't be back till probably. So we were going in with some young guys, but I mean that's up to Krim to decide. You know, if there's something on the market that, you know, I mean, but Logan we knew would be back. The guys had lots of confidence in your mind. There's some Swayman comparisons there, right? Of a guy that came in the year before, did well late in the year, and the guys had confidence in him. So we knew that he had the ability to play. Could he sustain it over the course of a year? You know, we're still finding that out. So far, so good. And then we got Hill, who had played in the league. Our goalie coach, Sean Burke, knew him well. So we started feeling better about it, I guess, as we got nearer to training camp. I looked at it as, well, we just need to play well in front of them. We need to eliminate some of the high danger chances, the odd man rushes that probably happened the year before with a young goalie, and tighten up on those, and it'll make it a little bit easier on them. And that's the way we played in Boston for 6 years, and that's how we're trying to play here, be a solid defensive team, but still be creative and score goals and have a good power play and all those things. And some of those we've achieved, and some of them are still working.
You mentioned scouting. You look at this team, I'm wondering, what is the biggest difference to you from afar that you see with the Bruins?
Well, certainly, you know, their D get involved more on the weak side. It's something we had talked about here. We didn't get it accomplished for whatever reason. Our guys do it well in Vegas as well, and so it's that fourth man's ice, so to speak. And I think Lindholm's a big driver of that. And unfortunately, he was hurt for us a bit last year. We could see it. He was going to be an excellent player. It was a great acquisition. And he's added to that. So when you play 23 minutes and you have that guy that brings it, one guy can sort of tilt, because you know Charlie's going to do it, and Grizz has always been good at popping up there. So that's the one thing. Neutral zone at times a little different, aggressive in certain spots that we were less aggressive in terms of defending. So sometimes if you're on time, you can take advantage of that. If you're not, then they're going to, you know, get takeaways and go the other way, which creates offense. So we got to be mindful of that.
What did you know about Chandler Stevenson before you came here, and what have you seen from him since?
You know, I didn't know a lot about him. What I have, I knew he won a Stanley Cup with Washington. He was more of a down in the lineup type player. They had all their stars then, so probably unheralded guy back then. I think what I've learned most about him is his 0 to 60 top end speed in a hurry, can separate. Versatility, plays left wing, plays center, kills penalties, plays the bumper on the power play, can play a little net front. So he's a better player than anybody realizes in this league, and he's a quiet guy, goes about his business, and certainly a guy that the opposition will notice if they watch the pre-scout. But it's just again, he's in a situation. It was Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. Now it's more Eichel and the Misfits and Stoney. So a little under the radar as well. But he's a really good hockey player.
How is it that skating, that ability, that 0 to 60? What do you see from him in that aspect?
Well, he's able to. I think D think they have him right. They have a good angle, and all of a sudden he's gone. He's just gone. He gets a lot of breakaways because of that. It looks like, and they're not like I'm hiding behind the D stretch pass breakaways. They're a chip puck in the neutral zone where the D's there, and then all of a sudden he's around him. Right. It's one of those, and then an inside cut to the net. So that's, I don't know. That's just God-given strong. Like Jack has that, right, too. But Jack has the puck when he's doing it more, whereas Stevie's more like a chip behind and go, whereas Jack's going to handle it and maybe turn up or make a play, and he's coming from a little bit later as a center, so he's not going to be able to blow by guys as easily as a winger. So when he moved to the wing, Stevie, I think he really noticed more of those breakaway opportunities.
What were your impressions of Jack Eichel coaching against him, and now what have you thought coaching?
Well, against him in Buffalo, like he was a really good player, and I think when it was Ralph Kruger was there, tried to match him up against Berge a lot, which is part of the learning process, right? And some nights he looked good, like he can handle it, and other nights we'd get the best of it. Is that all on Jack, line mates, decor, etc.? My impressions of him here is he's been our best player every night. Away from the puck, and that is a conversation we had, that I thought for him to be a truly elite player and a good playoff player, he has to have a 200-foot game. And the model is always Berge. We know that. There's Kopitar out there, there's Taves, there's a lot of guys like that, and that's what we were hoping Jack could at some point get to. And I think he's been outstanding, and I think I saw a story on the metrics the other day, or analytics, that supported that. He's been really good in our system defensively, really playing below the puck, not cheating anywhere on the ice. Offensively, his game's there. The only area Jack has to clean up is his face-offs. So now he has Stevenson on his other side that takes a lot. He's very good on his strong side, so Jack's going to have to work on that if he wants to be considered. And I know Crosby went through that when he was younger, right? It was well documented. He didn't like that, so he went to work on it. So it's something Jack will, I'm sure, put his mind to doing it. But right now, that's not our primary focus. It's just the system and playing good defensively so he can get pucks back, and it showed in his overall game. I think he's our highest plus player. You can argue for that stat or not, but he's not out there getting free goals on shorthanded, because we built him into the kill, but not every day. So I don't know. I can't say enough about the commitment he's made to be a full, complete player, and he's walked the walk.
Every coach loves a line with chemistry. How have the Smith, Marchessault, Carlson line, helped you? Where have you relied on?
Well, we put them all on different lines to start the year, because we wanted to get a look at different people in balance, and then we landed on the lines we have now. And we like the way it's gone. Those guys like playing each other. They do. They read off each other well. They're all good players no matter where you play them, but they just seem to function better with each other. So that's what we're going to do for now. Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.